Welcome, streaming a while. My name is Nathan. I'm the community manager of 4Day Studios, and I'm joined by Brian. Say hi, Brian.
Hello, I am Brian Gomez, the creative director of Reforj.
And Tom.
Hello, I'm Tom, the gameplay designer for Reforj.
Your lead gameplay designer.
We're going to be answering your questions for the next 90 minutes or so, hour and a half. But yeah, we've got some exciting stuff to show you regarding Title Update 4. So I guess we'll head straight into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
So how have you guys been for the last couple of months? The last stream we did was in May. Anything new changed since then?
It's been busy.
It's been busy. It's good having the shackles off so that I could leave my desk. It was really nice to see the sun again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're used to the one in game.
Yeah. It's weird that the sun doesn't travel at the same speed as it does in the game world. It took some getting used to. But yeah, no, things are good. We're really, really busy. It's been really exciting with this major update coming up because now there's a proper survival game loop in there. There was kind of the start of one, hints of one, but now there's actually, there's a proper loop in there, and it actually starts. It's really started. Just when I play it, I try to forget everything I know about the game, and I do a fresh play, and I just try to think, okay, how would I approach this as a real player? And it really does affect where I build, how I build, what things I try to gather first. So yeah, there's a proper survival game in here now. So that's been
things
nice.
to make.
Yeah.
Just we wanted to add tons of things to make, and it gives you a goal to go seek out the resources to go make this thing that you want to make.
Yeah.
So I will have a look at my inventory and see what we're going to make. I see there's a station here for me to make, so I will work towards that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you're gonna go for a workbench.
So as these guys play the survival gameplay, you guys can ask questions, and I will pick our favorites, and then we will bombard these two with questions as we go through. So give us your burning questions, chat, in both Twitch chat and YouTube chat. I'm looking at both, and I will pass the best ones on to our team.
Cool. What's when you're playing, Tom? What's kind of your strategy? Like when you're looking for like a place to set up your first base, what draws your attention? Like what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a bit of a vantage point, just because it's nice to kind of see what directions you can go from your base, and what directions and what landmarks have you got nearby.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be near a cave because I like to go exploring.
Mm-hmm.
This seed is making me walk for those things.
Yeah.
But I might go set up over here on this mountain. I've just rolled this seed at random. Never seen it before. So I'm just gonna get my bearings.
Yeah. Yeah. Landmarks are super important. At some point, I couldn't say when, but I know at some point we're gonna have the mini map start reflecting some things like your save point and things like that that might help wayfinding a bit better. But for now, it's pretty old school. Like you kind of have to memorize landmarks and land formations and use those to orient to find your way back if you venture too far away from your base. So yeah, I tend to do things like I do exactly what you said, like build somewhere high up that I get a good view and I can go, oh, okay, I know what resources are over there, I know where that biome is, I know where that biome is. The thing that I've discovered recently though is that if you build too high up, because I really like building stuff at like the top of mountains just because we get these beautiful vistas in a game. So I like just having scenery to look at while I'm up there. But the way that we've designed like kibis, for example, like you're not going to find kibis at the top of a mountain, like at the very top where the snow caps are. You're not going to find them there. So unless you stock up on kibi meat before you go up the mountain, you're not going to have a lot to eat.
I think that would also make it harder to climb that mountain right now, which is we've added a level system to our game now where you You can still break these materials, it just takes a lot longer, specifically stone that I'm looking at. But some of the softer materials I can get, but I would need to upgrade my mining bracer to get more of those materials. So I'm going to place down the workbench and see what recipes we've got. So in order to get a level 2, I'm going to need to collect some aura and some double glass shards. I've already got enough of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can increase my mining power and unlock new recipes, and of which there's a few recipes here as well. So maybe we'll set up base here. It's
Okay. little out in the open.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
We've got a message from a certain Scott in YouTube chat saying,
Oh, yeah?
that world looks so cool. Reminds me of the build challenge map.
Yeah, Scott, you would just build right there.
Right there. Yeah.
And we've got this.
Hipek Glutek in Twitch chat says, love what you guys are doing. Keep it up. By the way, still playing Minecraft Xbox 360 edition. Thank you.
Nice.
That's super cool.
So when it comes to aura, what do you typically do? Like, are you I'm just going to go find a bunch of aura berries and leave the animals alone, or are you just destroyer of kiwis, or do you go for the tunnelers? Or
Destroyer of kiwis. I think
Yeah.
I hold the record for the most amount of kiwis killed in 20 minutes.
Nice.
Play testing, of course. I'm not that cruel.
Yeah.
But they are a decent source of aura, as are these, which is, I've just got very lucky finding 2.
Yeah, that they don't usually show this close to the surface, so that was just a random luck.
Go write the seed down. Any other questions coming through chat?
Oh, there's a good cave over there too.
Yeah, I'm going to build a wee bridge across and see. I do have enough to upgrade that now. So
Cool.
now I can make more stuff, which we've added a lot of new
Yeah.
things to make. Some decorative, some functional. We'll take a look at some of these today, I'm sure. If I get sidetracked and forget to show any particular items, or if anyone's seen anything they want to see, let us know, and we'll.
Yeah. Well, I guess the big thing that happened with you upgrading your bracer is now you're not going to get that little orange circle on your crosshair when you try to break stone, which means, there's certain materials that the hardness is essentially too much for the mining bracer to break. So at level 1, you couldn't break that stone. If you could break it, but it takes a lot longer, and you don't get the drop for it, so you don't get the material to reuse in your builds, or as a recipe or something. It just is gone. You disintegrated it essentially. But now you've upgraded it, so now you can go ahead and start breaking those kind of level 2 or tier 2 materials and actually keep them.
Yeah, I feel a little bit more confident to go down there now, but maybe not just yet.
Yeah, it does. It is a. It kind of sucks when you fall down a hole before you've upgraded your bracer, because if you fall too far down, you're going to end up just surrounded by a bunch of materials that you can't easily break. So it's going to take you a while to dig your way out of that kind of situation, which I've done a number of times.
Rajaskal in chat says, let's all wave. Maybe they'll wave back. Hello. Love his questions.
Yeah.
Sushi says, gosh, Reforge changed a good bunch since I last checked. Love the way it's shaping up. I hope there'll be some mod / texture pack support in the game.
Who knows? Yes.
Yeah.
There'll definitely be texture packs. I could speak, confidently about that one because we're experimenting with them now. We're just when I say experimenting, I mean I guess our art team is trying to figure out the art pipeline, if that makes sense to you guys. Figuring out how fast can we make them, and how big of a team do you need to make a full art pack, and how long does that take? So we're doing experiments like that, which tells me, yeah, we are going to have texture packs in the future at some point. As far as mods, we're so early. I can't even think of mods right now.
I've been told that the our face cam covers the scanner text box and the minimap, so I'll hide us for a sec so we can show that off if there's anything you want to help out and scan.
Right.
I will.
He just went for a
Across
swim,
the
just
ocean.
We'll come back to
You've
it.
just gone for a swim.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Charlie asks, will PvP be in Reforge, and if so, how would it work?
That's a really good question. So I imagine the first instances of any kind of PvP is going to be player made. Like, people are going to figure out ways to turn this game into a PvP game. We've done it ourselves. Just, in fact, you guys are doing it this morning. We've been making up games ourselves within the design team just to entertain ourselves and just see what's possible. So, yeah, there will definitely be like some kind of emergent PvP. I have no doubts. As far as like a bespoke PvP mode, can't say at this point, but probably.
Seem out
Super cool.
the realm
Yeah.
of possibility.
Yeah.
Kenswood asks, what were some of your inspirations when making this game?
Ooh, that's a really big question. I mean, I think every game I think I've played since I was a really, really little kid has probably influenced some part of this. I mean, what's funny for me is like I've been making games for 30 years, so I often reference stuff to the design team, and then I see the quizzical look on their face, and then I have to get on Wikipedia and like go and find reference for them so they know what the hell I'm talking about because I've referenced like some ColecoVision title from 1982 or something. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't say there's like any particular title that we've like said, oh, we're gonna make this game. There's DNA of like every game I've played probably influencing stuff consciously or subconsciously. What about you? Is there anything that you look to as like a North Star?
I think there's a certain selection of games that like I always come back to that I've just played in my life that they have some great examples for mechanics that I like or mechanics that just work. I couldn't name any off the top of my head, but that tends to be how it goes for me.
Yeah.
I think we're also just inspired by a little bit of nature as well. There was a time when we were on a work trip and we were in a museum about rocks.
Oh yeah.
And just all the different shiny rocks and the minerals and how their rules of formation are and what color they look like and how they behave under different lighting conditions is really cool.
Yeah, that was the Natural History Museum in Prague, right?
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. I seem to suspect I've got a seed with a very lack of trees.
See, yeah. That's my problem when I build up too high. I build above the tree line, and then I find myself spending a lot of time going up and down the mountain hauling lumber.
Ash in chat says, whoa, didn't know Nathan could transform into a human when he's on camera. How odd. This is a bit because my profile picture on Discord is a cat, and people think I'm a cat. Someone else replied saying,
cat.
are you sure?
Yeah.
Someone in chat says, that's Nathan's body double. We all know he's a cat, so this is like a thing now.
Or a cat.
Excellent. Gartham says, you mentioned survival loop. Is that tool progression, or are you referring to something else?
What I'm referring to is basically just that core loop of knowing that there's a tech tree that you're trying to navigate that gives you access to new recipes and new stations and just new stuff to build and tools to make and things like that. And then knowing that you're going to have to go out and get resources that are consumable that you're going to have to go out and find. And just kind of going through that loop of like, okay, what's the next thing I want to build? Okay, it needs these materials. Where am I going to find it? Harvesting enough of them, processing them in a lot of cases, and then building the thing.
It's so cool seeing the progress like go this quick. It takes me ages to get this far in the game.
This is probably one of the slowest I've played in a while. I'm trying to slow myself down and not like just speedrun it. I don't feel like I've achieved all that much, but
Well, you're at level 2. You've got your campfire going. You've got to see where Tom's priorities are. It's like before all the practical stuff, he's got a nice table, decorative table there.
I like making
A little
house at
stool.
home. Should probably hold off and do much of the wood because I'll need that.
Yeah.
Question pulled from Discord. Will there be more combat or defense mechanics on the horizon?
Definitely more combat
Yeah.
mechanics for sure. In fact, we might even see some of them today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled, chat.
But yeah, I mean, there's if there's no threat in the game, then it just becomes a matter of like, okay, well now I'm just on a scavenger hunt to look for materials and just build anything that I want. and there's no friction there. The world's not providing any friction to just keep you from doing kind of whatever you want, as if you were in, like, say, creative mode. So there has to be mobs. You're going to have to encounter things that are going to try to eat you, kill you, fight you. And like I said, we'll probably see some of them today. And they all kind of have a different strategy that you'll have to employ to not get eaten, killed, etc.
So I'm currently cooking up some stuff on the new campfire that we've added. So
Yeah.
I'm making some meat so that I can go down to the caves and not feel too at risk. There's also a couple of materials I can make here, like charcoal and fired clay, which we're going to need that for later on as well. I do want to just mine some stone over here. I think I will use something that we've also added just to make that a little bit easier.
Yeah, you guys asked, we delivered. There's our row mining tool now. So just like our column mining tool now, we've got a horizontal row of 3 blocks that you could use. This is actually a really cool tool for if you're preparing a build and you just want a nice flat space. This is like a just big rock lawnmower. You can just mow through stone or bushes or trees or whatever's in the way and make a nice flat area.
It's another one of the tools that we've added that we don't expect that you'll have from the very start of the game, but it'll be something that you can, get at some point in the progression. But we've added it for now, just as given access to it, just so you can give it a shot.
Chat seems to like that. Kforge says, I told you there would be a storage item in full caps. Gotham asks,
Yeah.
is there now also some way to prevent mobs from spawning inside your structures and proper doors?
No proper doors yet, but they are coming. I promise you they're coming. Is there a way to stop them from spawning indoors?
Different mobs have different techniques right now.
Yeah.
Certain mobs won't spawn on certain materials. There's another mob that we've added which has a way of like making an area safe from it. But we do have other ideas in mind for how we're gonna basically allow you to control where mobs can and can't spawn to a degree.
Rachel7 says, that's a fine looking campfire you got there.
It is a nice campfire.
User asks, will the lore be told directly through little events in the game, or will it be left to players' interpretation?
That's a good one for you, Brian.
That's a good one.
It will be told through, mostly through interpretation. So, but when I say that, I mean like, if you guys have been to a theme park, and you go to, like, say, one of the Disney theme parks, there's a lot of storytelling that happens kind of passively that way, just through things that you see and decoration and some of it is up to interpretation. But I think that's mostly how you're going to experience the story. I'm sure at some point, we'll, for example, like in the tutorial, our tutorial world right now is very just kind of placeholder and very functional. It's just designed to get you introduced to the various game mechanics and get you on your way. We're starting to work now on like a proper 4J style tutorial. So those of you that have played like our Minecraft console games, our tutorial worlds were more bespoke. They were more designed as opposed to just being like a random seed. And there was, we kind of guided you through an experience. So that tutorial is probably going to be one of the only places in the game where there is some, more hand-holding and more story and lore delivered to you directly. But once you're into the world and you're into your first, randomly generated world, there will be, you'll get little bits of lore. So by using like the scanning tool and scanning different materials and just getting little bits of flavor that might explain a bit of background around, a particular mob or something. Finding different objects or ruins are going to be coming into the game, and interpreting what was that place and what was its function. That'll be up for you guys to kind of decode. We do have a story. There's a big story Bible that explains what this world is and who the gatekeepers were and what they were about. But we'll leave it to you guys to figure that stuff out.
I like hearing the fan theories though.
Oh, yeah.
Super cool.
I have found some clay, which I'm gonna need. I didn't go very far for it. It was just below this this area here.
Best says visual storytelling, fun stuff. I've got 2 questions about gateways, and I'm going to combine them together, so I'll ask 2 at once. Fusey asks, are gateways currently just in the background right now until you guys get more of the core gameplay created? And username 1536 asks, will they be part of the progression system?
So they exist for the developers in that there's a menu that we go to in our editor that functions as a gateway. And it gives us access to all the little sliders and buttons and parameters that we can tweak to create a new world. So it generates not just things like the height map of the world, but properties of the water and properties of the different rock strata and what the ground cover is made of, and just all these different things that we can mess with around the world. So we have access to that system, and the gateways that you'll experience as a player are going to be like an extrapolation or like an expression of that system that is going to be more game-like for you guys, as opposed to just giving you a menu and going, here you go, play with all these 100 different sliders and numeric values. We're going to have a system that lets you guys tweak and experiment with that to get different results from the world. And will building a gateway be part of the progression loop? Absolutely. In fact, right now, to the tech tree that we've got mapped out in our design documents, it's kind of like the ultimate goal. And I'm sure it won't be it won't be the end of the tech tree and then you never build anything beyond a gateway, but that is sort of like the big ultimate thing that you're trying to build eventually.
Fusey says, oh, that's really exciting.
I hope so.
Usually regarding the lore question says, thanks for answering, guys. That's a really nice way of storytelling. Pout says, I want the 1,000 different sliders.
Well, we are hiring.
We are. Gotham asks, will there also be template worlds, like a flat world or a custom size world?
The flat world, certainly. I mean, I know I've seen that in the backlog. Do you know when? It's coming.
I couldn't say when for anything.
Yeah.
I know that the flat worlds are currently a developer option that we, recently added for ourselves, and
Mhm.
hopefully we'll be able to, add a menu to allow you to then make your own flat worlds as well.
Yeah, I'm just guessing right now, but it's probably going to be like an option that you might see when you go to create a new world, and like right now when you create a new world and you're choosing whether you want to be in survival or creative mode. I imagine it'll end up being like a tick box or a drop down menu or something in the when you select creative mode, it'll probably be an option there that you'll be able to say, okay, just generate a flat world for me. Like Tom said, it's something we can do in the editor right now. I think it's safe to say our goal is to, like, most of the things that make our lives easier or that allow us to do like really cool stuff when we do like our epic creative builds, we do want to put in players' hands eventually. We just don't want to put it in their hands in the form of an editor. Like, we're not trying to build Unreal or Unity. I don't think we have any plans for the Elements engine to ever be that type of third-party engine that somebody would use to develop their own game with. But we do want to take a lot of the really cool tools that we have for like shaping the landscape or cloning objects and pasting objects down. I think we want to make some kind of player version facing of a lot of those things over time. It's just, we're always trying to balance between like working on those features that are more for creative mode or trying to fill out the kind of core gameplay of the survival mode.
Yeah, I think I haven't really put too much effort into the gateways just yet. I think because we want to add a lot more stuff to just our base world.
Yeah.
Well, more things to make and there before we start going from planet to planet. Because if there's nothing to make, then going to these like different worlds is
Moot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
K4 says, I just noticed at the top of the middle of the screen there's a survival text. Is that a way of showing the player didn't cheat?
It's definitely a way for us knowing if the player cheated or if even on our own dev team. There is a system, so like in the update you'll find that if you switch from survival mode into creative mode, you'll get a prompt saying, hey, you're about to go into creative mode. There it is, right there. So it gives you this message, just warning you that you're about to do it. And That's really just, it's kind of a status thing in a way. Like if somebody does a really awesome epic build and they manage to do it with, all the kind of friction and limitation imposed on you by the survival mechanics, like, mobs can kill you and you can fall and die and all those sorts of things. If you want the status of saying like, yeah, I built this epic, amazing masterpiece while thwarting off death, then we want people to be able to like show that. We don't know how it's going to be displayed. Like once the game becomes multiplayer, I couldn't exactly say like how you're going to be able to tell, but there will definitely be a way for you to tell if somebody has used survival mode exclusively or if they've done something in creative mode.
Right now we flag, so you see the flag on the sort of top of the screen. That's more of a case of if people are sending us in bug reports, we can see the coordinates, the seed, and what game mode you're currently in versus what your save is currently tagged as. So a world that has been started in survival and kept in survival will get that survival tag applied to it. And what that means is, say in future versions of the game, we might have achievements, and we might want to only limit those, like getting those achievements in the in a world that has started in survival and stayed that way. That's about it, I think.
Yeah.
Gotham says, thank you guys for doing this session. I'm loving all the progress you guys are showing.
Still feels like
There's
not more to show. I am just on the literally on the surface.
Yeah.
Having placed a few stations there, I've just made myself a kiln from the clay that I'd cooked on the campfire, and my campfire's burnt out, so I might make another one later on. But
Yeah, campfires do burn out. They're not forever. So you either have to, build another one, or like in this case, you've got something like the kiln where the kiln doesn't go away if it burns out, but you do have to provide fuel for it.
I'm gonna. Did I make some additional charcoal? Okay.
Gotham asks, how long does a campfire last?
Oh, it's changed so many times.
Every time I say it, I get the wrong answer. I think it was. You can see there. I started it during the daytime. It's kind of an overnight.
Yeah.
Our goal really.
I mean, it's easy to make, so they're kind of like disposable / consumable, but you just need a few sticks and a ember leaf as our fire starter, and then you've got yourself a campfire.
Charlie says, if a campfire runs out, does your spawn point get removed, or am I thinking of something different? That's the aura campfire, right?
Yeah, the aura campfire does not burn out. That's just your safe. It's not going to run out, and you're going to lose your save point. That one, once activated, it's activated. But the campfire, you'll use the campfire essentially for cooking food and for creating charcoal. So if you need to create more fuel for the kiln, you can use a campfire to do that. And you can also fire clay. So like Tom was searching around for clay because he knew he wanted to build that kiln, but you can't just take raw clay because then it'd be like just putting a big, trying to make a fire in a big slab of silly putty. So you've got to fire it and turn it into a hardened material. You could usually find the clay. We're next to the ocean or like saltwater sea here, but if he had been right next to freshwater, a lot of times you'll find clay at the bottom of our freshwater lakes and rivers now. But there's also, it's a strata layer under the ground as well. So if you're not by a lake, you can still find some if you just probe around just a little bit underground.
I could be wrong, but I think we added the clay in to the World Gen last update or the update before. But now
Was it? Yeah.
Now we have a use of cooking it. I could be wrong.
I can't remember
maybe
anymore.
we did add it for this update.
My brain is clay at this point.
Archie in Twitch chat says, I can say how long the campfire lasts if Tom and Brian want.
Yes.
Go for it.
Yes.
You have the numbers in front of you.
I'll report the number back when we get it. Asher said, has anything happened during development that you didn't expect, but you're glad that it did happen? It's a great question.
Yeah. That's going to take some thought. I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess...
It's game development, so there's usually something that happens unexpected every week.
Yeah.
Some kind of bug that we weren't expecting, some kind of... I think especially with sandbox gameplay, sometimes you'll design one thing in isolation, design another thing, and you'll think of all the ways that they can interact, but then the third thing will come along and be like, hey, did you consider this? That this thing, when you place it in this way, does this? never expect some things. There was one of our favorite bugs from recently was you've seen the new table. There was a bug where it could kill you if placed in a certain orientation.
I missed that one. Was that while I was on holiday?
Yeah, the table of death.
Nice.
We've got that number from Archie. He says 720 seconds for the campfire burning out, which is 12 minutes.
That sounds right. Half a
Yep.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those asking about PC, we still aren't focusing on PC just yet. We want to make sure the Xbox Series X and S is absolutely solid, and we want to keep our efforts there for now. But we reassure you it's on the roadmap, and we're slowly getting closer.
I play the PC version every day.
Just going to flex on people like that.
Yeah. In fact, my daughter's playing the PC version right now, sitting at
Wow.
my desk. It's her birthday, and you know what she wanted to do? So you can do anything you want to do today. It's your birthday. She want to come in and play Reforj. That
Flidgy
kid knows how to
asks,
kiss my butt.
Flidgy asks, will there be split screen in the future?
Oof. I never say never, but it's not something we've thought about seriously. You know, like we're I think we're more focused on just getting it really airtight and shippable to do, you know, multiplayer on different screens before we worry about trying to do it on the same screen. But yeah, it would be nice. Just like with Manic Mechanic, we love, you know, local co-op, like same screen type stuff, but it's not a priority right now. There's just so many other things we're trying to get done.
Yeah, makes sense. Basic Builder Awesomely says, will there be any more mobs in the future?
Oh yeah. yeah. We've got no shortage of ideas. We've got giant stacks of ideas of mobs. But it's kind of like, goes back to that previous question about, like, you know, things you were unexpecting. It's like mobs are such a part of the ecosystem because, you know, they drop resources that you need. They try to kill you, some of them. So, like, we're really careful about every mob that we put in. So, like, there's dozens and dozens of concepts that we have drawn up and that we've designed out on paper, and some of them we've, you know, prototyped in the game. But we're really careful about which one we put in because it just ends up affecting the entire loop and the whole resource economy and everything. So they're coming. You'll see some of them today, and you'll definitely see a few of them in the new update at the end of this month.
Exciting stuff. A couple of people are saying happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, cool. Well, hopefully she's watching this and she's heard people say happy birthday.
On the topic of new mobs, someone on Discord has asked, will there be mythical creatures added such as dragons?
Mythical creatures. Again, I'd say never say never. Like, once we get into exploring other worlds that are beyond, like, the kind of default world, like, we are looking at the Discord, and we're taking careful note of the types of worlds people have been saying they want. And one recurring theme that we see a lot is people saying, oh, I want, like, you know, a fairy world, or a fantasy world, or a dark fantasy world, or a dark academia world, but they're all kind of like a, you know, a more, let's say, European medieval themed type world. And I kind of feel like it's safe to say at some point that will be one of the types of worlds that you'll be able to build. So in that world, yeah, I can imagine there being, like, a dragon-like creature. We've certainly had ideas for them, but I think this part of the world, like the default Reforged world, it's not really like a fantasy magical type world. It's a little more grounded in, like, real life sort of biology as opposed to magical biology.
Tunnelers are a little bit, you know, fictional in some way.
Yeah, they're aliens. I mean,
Right,
everything's
they-
like an
they've got some
alien, but
magical
yeah.
aura gathering abilities.
Yeah.
So, but that's the idea behind gateways is we can have one world be very different feeling to another.
Yeah.
Peppy Duck says, it's so cool that you guys are in the Discord. Have the feedback threads changed anything about the game?
They've definitely started discussions.
Yeah.
There was a suggestion the other day about like food, and during our playtest we all got talking about food, and that was today as well. But obviously there's some of the suggestions for creature designs certainly influenced like the decisions that we're making, or inspired in some way or another.
Yeah, I mean, every morning I start my day in Discord and just seeing what people are talking about, and I have a little list of stuff, like topics that come up that people have been asking for, and I make a little hash mark in that document every time something keeps, like a topic keeps coming back up. So yeah, it really does influence. It's rare for something to be brought up that we've never thought of, because we're a team of like 40 odd people and we're all thinking about the game 24/7. So it's unusual for someone to think of something that no one on the team has ever thought of. But what it does do is it kind of helps us prioritize. Like if there's a feature that we think, oh, nobody's gonna really want that, and then we see a lot of discussion around it on the Discord, then it ends up taking a bigger priority in our list.
Okay, we'll give it about 10 minutes and then we'll have our half-point break.
Cool. And we haven't even ventured underground yet.
I think that's the that's the part
Oof,
2.
you just got
Yeah.
rammed by a tunneler.
Part 2, going down in the caves. I think I've now got everything I want. I've got an ample supply of the ingredients to make some torches. I've got some aura. Could really use with storing that somewhere.
Leo in Twitch chat says, completely no idea, bread. We should do that. We should write that down.
Bread.
Bread.
Yeah.
The Discord loves the bread, I've noticed. This week they've really taken off with the bread. I love it.
I wish they could have tasted Tom's bread when we had our bread cook-off in the office. It was all of them are actually really good, but
Yeah.
Tom's was like on brand. It's like looked at the part and tasted the part.
So by on brand, do you mean lore accurate? Like
Lore
quite-
accurate, yes,
Right.
it was like lore accurate gatekeeper bread.
So is there any
Only
chance
grain,
we'll be able
not
to share the
silver.
recipe, Tom?
I can put the recipe if you want.
Yeah.
It's literally just
Perfect.
flour and water.
Any bakers in chat interested in making the official Reforj bread at home?
I've got sidetracked with some glass. Well, I will need some glass later on for this. I need some iron for both this, the level 3, and this canister.
Yeah.
And one of those.
Yeah, we'll definitely want to play with those later.
So I need some iron. That's
Which means you got to go underground. This is probably the biggest thing that's changed the way I play the game. I think everybody has started playing the game differently. Is that before I was underground almost immediately. I would just start digging and looking for ores and kind of doing whatever I wanted underground because it was relatively safe. I mean, other than falling to your death because it's dark, so you could one wrong step and you could fall into a hole and die, or you can get lost. It's actually really easy to get lost in our caves, but there was never anything down there to harm me other than gravity. Now there is, and what it's done is it means that now before I go around a cave, I spend a lot more time on the surface than I used to prepping. Like just getting food and killing kibbies and turning them into cooked kibby meat and making sure I do not run out of wood because I'm going to need more torches. I always need more torches. And making sure that I have enough aura saved up and enough noble glass. Like you really actually have to, it's like going on an expedition. You're like, okay, I'm going to delve underground for like the next half hour of gameplay and I got to make sure I have everything I need. That was never an issue before.
Fusey says, scrap plans for the Edinburgh studio and just turn it into a bakery. I love that. I'm on board. Okay, we'll do one more question. Let's see, what have we got here? Will there be rain or other weather effects?
yes.
Yes. Yeah, we need it.
Probably start simple and work our way up to if we just even get some basic precipitation before we start thinking about storms that affect anything or.
Yeah. Well, we know, like, one thing that we knew that, like, deforestation or stripping an area of, like, food. Ooh, that's a good cave. That's a good cave. We knew that, you will run out of, like, necessary supplies like wood and food in an area because things don't grow back just right now. But we know that we are going to have it, that stuff will grow back and regenerate in the world, which leads to farming. So we know for sure our game is going to have farming and people are going to be able to like build crops and stuff. And it's on our internal roadmap, our production roadmap. So we roughly know when that's going to go live. I'm not going to say it here because I don't want you to hold me to it, but it is coming. As soon as farming's in, that's probably the same time that we'll introduce like precipitation because you're going to want to like water your crops and see them grow with rain and stuff.
Cool. Okay, we are exactly 45 minutes past, so let's give it a 5-minute break, 5-10 minute break, and we'll be back in a bit, have a breather, and
Cave diving.
we'll go
Yeah,
cave diving in part
spelunking.
2 and see what's down there.
Cool.
In the meantime, we'll leave you with something brand new, so I hope you enjoy. Welcome back. We are back, and we've changed the lighting a bit. Hopefully, we're not too dim now.
Yeah.
We've progressed a little bit in the game. We've had a breather. We've had a quick drink, and we're being completely hammered by Tana scouts.
One I can handle. 3.
What's your typical strategy for dealing with tunnelers?
Try and get myself into a corner where I can see all of them coming towards me, and then slowly getting all the aura I lost. So usually take out like 1 or 2 hits. But in this case, I've got them all back.
There you go.
Right.
So, Chad, what did you think of the new art we showed you in the break? It's not replacing the one you'll see on like the title screen and stuff, but it's going to be used in stuff like thumbnails and banners just to provide some variation, because we use that one graphic all the time. So I'm glad you guys liked it. Lots of positive comments so far. Super cool. I've still got a bunch of questions that I've noted down.
Cool.
Question from Discord. Will mobs be developed to also interact with each other and attack each other, and not just the player itself?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
We don't want them to just be endlessly like slaughtering each other, because then there'd be nothing left for the player to just be stuck everywhere. We do want to kind of introduce some levels of interactions between mobs. For example, if you were to be in a fight with a tunneler and a keepy walked in the way, we want that tunneler's charge to, apply some damage to that.
Free
Just
keepy meat.
Yeah, just little things like that, interactions where they're not feeling completely detached. But we might introduce a particular mob that fights with another particular type of mob, limiting it in that way. But, these tunneler fights have thrown me out of my groove. I think the plan here was to craft some torches.
Yeah, that's the funny thing with the tunnelers now. With some of the changes we've made about just their behavior and their pathfinding and different aspects of them, it's like I got good enough at fighting them that they just would kind of become like a mild annoyance when I was doing something at night. Now I get into a fight with them and it's like I actually have to pay attention to them and like survive.
Now we were heading into a cave when we came out, and there's a lot in there. So maybe we should have a look and see what's going on, shall we?
I'll grab my food
All your
supply.
stuff.
Queue up some more bread. Oh, that'll do it.
I saw someone asked, is it coming to PS5? Yes, eventually. We plan to release Reforj on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5 as well. Impact Chicken, great name, asks, due to there being a story, does that mean the game has a set end, or is it a case of one world can be played forever?
It's more one world could be played forever. There's not like a linear story. There's no campaign. There's no end game boss or anything like that. But let's just say there's a conflict and a history that players can discover that exists in our universe and make.
Whoa.
Ooh, and here we go. Look at that. Here's a
Oh.
couple new mobs.
Can we hit the scanner on it? Does it give us any extra details? Oh, they're already
They're
gone. Ooh. So, do we want to
Yeah.
give
Oh,
away
here he
the
is.
name?
Scan him. See, oh, he's gone. Oh, you got you killed him
Did it
now.
again.
Ah.
Except his bits have fallen into the abyss there. Oh, that's a bad drop.
That's rough.
Oh,
Oh, careful. You're in front of a couple hundred people. No pressure.
I do want this stuff. Oh, it keeps
There you
going
go.
down. Nice
Any
and
guesses for what it could be called, chat?
So we're gonna.
Sorry, just find some gold. That's
Oh, that's a good sized gold vein too. What depth are you at? Oh, you're at the right depth for it.
Nice.
money bags.
That's really nicely.
Well,
This is asking for trouble.
yeah. It used to be in caves when I saw that blue glow. I was like, oh, good, light. I can see what I'm doing. Now, not so much good news. You're safe.
Kforge mentioned trying to do a speedrun.com thing so people can time how long it takes to get the last level of the mining bracelet
Mm-hmm.
as a speedrun.
Our QA guy would have you beat.
Yeah.
Another question from Discord is about character customization and if there's any plans for any of that soon.
Definitely, it's being worked on. It's being prototyped. There's like a few ways we can go about it, and we've been experimenting with which way we want to do it. I mean, you've all seen character customization in other games. Some games it's just a matter of like changing out the model entirely. Some games it's about editing pieces. Some games are about just applying a different texture or skin to that model. We've been looking at all of the above and probably others that I haven't mentioned and trying to figure out which one works best for the tech, works best from a UI UX perspective. Our art team has done different character, different versions of the character skin and different versions of the model by like swapping the head out or swapping different body parts out. So all I can say at this point is you will definitely be able to change the appearance of the main character. It's not in like the super distant future. Like I imagine it probably won't, well, definitely won't be in for the end of this month. Maybe the next one or two big updates that might make its way in. No promises, but yeah, it's something that's definitely coming. We're working on it right now.
There you go, your confirmation. That is called the Boom Shroom. You guys were right.
Good. Yeah.
We made it. After asking for your feedback a little while ago, we made it real. The Boom Shroom is official.
He is there.
How much of that feedback did you incorporate? I know we posted that graphic of the concept art, but how much of that was actually put into the game or aided, development of the mob?
I think it was a lot of like validation of if looking at what the ideas were very kind of in the same area as ours. It was like, okay, that's good. What we're doing isn't too like unexpected or strange or
Esoteric.
yeah. It's concerned of like dangerous.
Yeah.
Chat is still going on about the bread and the Boom Shroom. Love it.
I see some other.
I see something else lurking about on the ceiling.
Should we go and investigate what's going
Should
on?
we?
It's like total silence. It's a little bit
Mhm.
ominous. Like, should I be scared? Should I be on my toes?
Oh, here comes.
Ooh.
Ow.
You missed.
Didn't even try.
Oh, he did.
Let's see if I can.
Got him.
Got him.
Nice.
But what was it? Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's some iron.
Does anyone in chat would know what that is? If you've been paying close attention to our socials, you should be aware of what that's called. Gotham's got it. There's
Yeah.
the Salac. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us about the Stalac. What does it do and how does it function?
So it's a creature that likes to hang out in caves. He likes when it's dark and well below sea level, and he clings to the ceiling, and he chews on ore. That's what he eats. He's a creature
Yeah.
that feeds on ore. So if there's ore veins around, you'll probably find them around too. And if you happen to kill one, you'll find his undigested ore. So they eat, iron, they eat gold. I have even found an amethyst in the belly of a Stalac. So they're kind of like, they're like the lotto scratcher ticket for you. If you can, get him, you might have a prize inside. But the problem is that if you don't happen to kill him when he's dropping from the ceiling onto your head, he's going to explode and fill you full of shrapnel instead.
A bit more dangerous than
Yeah.
than a scratch card.
Yes.
Make a quick stop back to the surface.
Jonathan asks, are they also more likely to attack when you have more ore on you?
No, they're not. They're kind of a not super cunning creature. You know, they don't have like a complicated behavior. They really are just looking for something for them to drop down on, and then kind of scatter their own little spores and grow up to be stalactites later at some point in their life cycle. But that's all they do, is they just sense movement and then they'll drop on your head to kill you. But they're not. You're not more enticing to them if you're loaded up with like gold nuggets or anything. But that's a good idea. That is actually that might be maybe a future variation of a stalact will be a super stalact that looks for ore-rich targets.
Pat asks, can we give them some fruit to help with their digestion issues? And then pop the tunnel
They just
leaves.
need fiber. They'd be friendly if they just had fiber.
Kofan says, Stalags sound like they have the optimal digestive system for someone who lives on Mars or Venus.
Yeah. Yeah, they would do well there.
Windchilder asks, stuff like trees regenerating feels pretty natural,
Mhm.
but are there plans for renewable ore since that's also a finite resource?
Not really, because part of our kind of resource loop that we've been designing is that if you strip mine a world and take out all of its useful materials, that's the point where you definitely want to branch out to another world. So, I mean, you're talking about, it's what, like 4 billion voxels make up our worlds. So you'd have to be pretty busy to like completely strip it of all of the ores. But, if you found that like your iron resources were running low, that would ideally be the time for you to create a gateway and just jump to another world that's got what you need.
Joe's in chat. Hi Joe. Joe says, I guess the sellers could give you endless ores. Thinking emoji.
I thought that as well.
Yep.
You could tell he's a game designer.
Yep. I mean, one little, like, talk about those unexpected things is like we did discover that even though we just designed this like careful tech tree where, we're trying to make sure that you only have access to certain materials at certain levels of your bracer being upgraded and such, you technically could, if you went in and hunted enough stalactites, you could probably get the materials needed, like iron ore, before you'd actually technically be able to mine it out of the earth yourself.
Counting on one of our fellow designers, Scott, being able to, he'll work out how to farm them.
Yeah.
If someone in the community doesn't first.
Yep. Yeah, you will be able to farm them. I mean, because there's parameters around like where they like to appear and how much clearance they like to have below them and what altitude they like to spawn at. So yeah, I could totally see creating a little farm, just like the perfect area for them to spawn, and then just using that as my means of harvesting ores.
Scott says, already working on it.
Yeah.
House asks, will there be any object affected by physics, like being able to hang a platform from a rope and then have it swing based on how you stand on it, for example?
If you listen really carefully, you could hear our chief technical officer crying, and he doesn't even know why right now.
It's a good answer.
Yeah, there are, okay, so in the Elements engine, there are physics objects. We've had them working, we know they work. Not quite like, like a full like Newtonian physics model thing that you just described there, of like being able to make a flexible rope with a pendulum and stuff like that's pretty far out there. I don't know that we would even do that. Even if the engine is capable of it, I don't think we'd go there. But we will have physics objects in this game. That's a hill I'm willing to die on because I've been asking for it. From the same stuff that we've had in the Elements engine, I want it in here.
It's time for a crafting spree, I think. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna. I've got a bunch of iron now, so I'm gonna craft the latest bracer level, and now even more things are appearing. So I don't think that one's right. But I was also gonna try and make one of one of these. Some more glass now. Grab one of those.
Canister.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very good stuff.
Got a bunch of brick for some reason.
Gotham says, on the topic of farms, you just nerfed the first real Kibby farm, the one with the water torches. Is it the intent to kill all farms or only the overpowered ones?
So-
I think there's some farms that we just unexpectedly kill by like fixing a bug or doing something different than before. I think there's almost like an expectation that no matter how you design something to not be farmable, someone will find a way.
Yeah.
And I think just being accepting of that, as long as it's not some kind of like really easy way to exploit, or it's you know, if it's like really super simple to, you know, exploit something for tons of resources, then it's not as fun as if you were to spend some, you know, some length of time building some crazy contraption that found a way. Then yeah, it's kind of cool. Alright.
Fuzi asks, will we ever get access to the Dundee world or others used to promote the game? That would be cool. I assume that
Yeah.
would require some way of us to transfer worlds to people. right?
Yeah, we don't have the ability to like give out worlds yet, but never say never. I could see it. I mean, we've talked about, like, for example, with our tutorial world that we're going to build. You've seen a lot of like our epic builds that we've been doing in promotions. Just, you know, the other day Scott and I were talking about, like, do we sneak some of those epic builds in there? Do we hide them in the tutorial world, or do we actually integrate them into the tutorial world? Those are the kind of things we're considering. Can't say that it'll definitively happen, but like, yeah, I'd love for people to play with the Dundee map. You thought you had a tunneler trap there. Had too much momentum.
I see our mod May in chat. Hi May. Keep those questions coming, chat. We've still got loads to go through, but it's always nice to add more to the list. Not sure if I asked this one yet, but Nixie Nova asked, what's been your favourite new feature to work on recently?
Well, we haven't seen the boom block yet.
Ooh.
But yeah,
I mean,
that's-
let's have, what was it? Does it take to craft it again?
So you got to get some more spignite. You've got enough noble glass. You've got enough iron. It means you got to go get some boom shrooms. Ooh,
I know where they spawn now.
yeah.
Just got sidetracked with making a little well. I'll leave that. We'll get some more spignite, shall we?
Yeah.
4 for that. I could also do with getting some more noble glass shards to make this.
Oh yeah,
So-
or a storage container.
I've now got a fair. So this was unlocked when I got to Bracer level 3, but I've now got a fair amount of aura that these guys are attacking me during the night, and I could do with a place to store it.
Yeah, you're a nice juicy target to tunnelers right now.
I'm just going to take this while I'm at it.
Onyx Laser asks, will there be cake? We've got bread halfway there, right?
We've somebody in the Discord mentioned like Oreberry pie, wasn't it?
Yeah, I do remember that one.
I think we're definitely gonna make Oreberry pie in real life. There's definitely gonna have a bake off for that. I like pie, but yeah, I think we even triaged that feature in. Like we're going to make an Oreberry pie.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like just random kind of food items that I'd like to eventually add to the game. Just more things to make, but also giving you different stat boosts. And,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it'd be nice if they have some utility besides just, you know, being fun to and like an aesthetic thing. I want it to actually provide some gameplay benefit.
did I get to level 3? I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I can get some of this.
So you're harvesting
some more
raw
Orium.
Orium.
Yeah, so for every element material we've got in the game, we've given them a bracer level that you can mine them at. I guess as always, you can break them at any level, but this is the only time you can now obtain that material.
So
And
here's your
one of
guy.
these guys
Don't mess it up.
can actually.
Nice, you're good at
Got
this.
him.
So that's the only one I need for.
Oh, I hear him.
Here, a tunneler upstairs.
Cube CL says, can you give us a hint about Title Update 5? I mean, we're still, like, we're barely,
Just planning
we're
it.
barely,
What do you want from me?
we're barely hinting Title Update 4, sorry. So let's take it one step at a time, and
Mhm.
we'll get around to it when we
Yeah.
get closer to it.
Certainly in the planning stages for that, but now it's a case of, there's a lot of things we do want to do, but trying to work out what we can realistically do.
Mhm.
This was the way I came, right? And I have.
Yeah, there's an interesting push and pull dynamic within our team where we've got the desire to just get things out as early as possible. Like this is easily like the earliest I've ever let anybody outside of a dev team look at a game that I've been working on, ever. But like we could even be more open. Like we could easily let you guys see features and stuff like kind of as they come right off the assembly line and go in. But inevitably they're going in broken. And we discover all the weird edge cases and bugs and stuff. And so it's always a matter of like, well, how raw do we let people get exposed to stuff? And it's not that like, we want you guys to get access to stuff as early as possible, but we also want you to enjoy it. And there's definitely like some like hair pulling, head banging on the wall, bugs that come out with stuff when it's really, really fresh and hasn't been tested. So we're always just kind of like struggling between like, okay, do we let them see this yet, or do we give it some more time before we're happy with it? And I also think like myself and especially like our studio heads, we've been making games since like the PlayStation 1 days, and back in those days, you didn't have patches. Like a game shipped on a disc and that was it. So I think there's just been ingrained in us this thought that like you don't put out stuff that we know is broken because we've just been trained to think like, oh, there's no opportunity. The discs have been pressed, it's sitting on the shelves of game or somewhere. So yeah, it's we're always struggling with how early do we let you see stuff.
Sure has asked the chat, so I'll repeat it. What would you guys like to see in Title Update 5? Would like to hear your suggestions. For those that have asked for the hero arts that was in the intermission screen, we will hopefully get that on the Creative Hub sometime soonish. We can't guarantee a time, but hopefully you'll be able to download that in full resolution and have a nice look around. It's very detailed. Trying to find the button to pull up my notes. Basic Builder Awesomely asks, will the game include new food so that you can craft or create like a loaf of bread and a cake and fruits and stuff that comes from trees like apples, bananas, pomegranates, etc.?
Will you answer that?
Yeah, we've added the bread. There's also another food item that we've added that you can get from a plant somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll let you find that one out. But yeah, I think we'll just slowly chip away at adding different food sources. Because then it means like when you need to restore health, there's not just one way to do it. There's multiple different ways you can do it depending on where you are, depending on what resources are nearby, and that kind of like, freedom to do things. And there's different ways of achieving a goal. It's part of the sandbox. So at the same time, you also don't want to just put hundreds of items in the game just for the sake of adding it. We want to be somewhat careful, but. Oh well. Let me get out of here. I got some of the last. Not sure if it was enough.
Will there be a playtest of PC? We'd like to, but as of like how and when, it's way too early to kind of have an idea or anything to announce.
It will happen though.
Right. Got one of these now. Or a storage
Okay.
container, because
Ooh.
I keep getting attacked by tunnelers. So
Oh, they just want to say hi.
Oh, I've not actually seen this yet. Super cool.
A fair amount of aura.
The question is always how much do you leave behind? Because you always need some for like aura torches and things when you're
right.
exploring.
Like, I can look at having 20-ish.
Yeah.
Because I also turn a lot of that into torches. Right.
CodeFan321 asks, will there be vehicle/interactable transportation in the game? As someone who suggested boats,
Mhm.
but also things like rails, carts, free vehicles like cars, planes, helicopters, horses, etc.
Wow, everything. Well, okay, so the Elements engine had most of the things listed there. We've had prototypes in the engine of helicopters, jet planes, hovercrafts, seaplanes that could land on the water. We've had speedboats, submarines, and even like some really weird sci-fi vehicles that don't exist in real life. So the engine's definitely capable of it. It's more a question of how we incorporate those kind of things into the game. Like some games, sandbox crafting games have gone the route of like letting you, really customize like a vehicle. Like imagine building a car where you've got to like just lay down all the blocks together, all the elements together, and make the shape of a car, and then somehow it becomes a physics object that can drive around the world. That's one way to approach it. The other way would be more like the boat in Minecraft, where it's like there's a recipe for making this thing, and then I make it, and now it's just everybody's boat is the same. It's an object you could drop in the world. We haven't committed to one way or the other yet, but we do know that like we are going to have drivable vehicles because of the amount of water in our world. Like it's a major feature. I suspect it'll be a watercraft will be the first type of vehicle, but flying vehicles, submarines, all that kind of stuff, we've prototyped them all. So the engine's definitely capable of doing it. It's just we just need to decide how we want you guys to create those and how much customization will be involved and what those recipes are like and all sorts of things to consider. And then the question of mounts, that's something that we definitely want too. I know there was a bug at some point where we were able to stand on a kibbe and go for a ride. So yeah, I'm sure that's going to come at some point too, but I couldn't tell you when on the roadmap yet.
Fusey says, wow, that's some crazy news. I never expected you to even answer that question about vehicles. It was so out of this world for me. Happy to help. Nixie Nova asks, will we get tools, weapons, or just bracer upgrades?
I've seen a bit of both.
Mhm.
Like, for example, the canister is a tool. It's
Mhm.
separate to the bracer. It's just, I think, is our first tool. I guess you could call the boom block a tool in a way.
Single use.
Yeah. I have made one.
Oh, cool.
When do we want to bring this one out, Nathan?
What's this? Sorry, I was
Our boom block. Tom's crafted a boom block, and he's just wondering. He's like a kid that's got like the one M80 from 4th of July that he wants to set off.
I think Chad is going to want to see the boom block. I say we go ahead.
Yeah,
What do you think, Chad? Do you guys want to see the boom block?
One for now, and then.
sure. So he's lit the fuse with an ember leaf. I don't think you're far enough. Okay, there you go.
In real life, you'd be much further
Yeah.
away. Yeah, Chad seems to want boom blocks.
You got a lot more boom shrooms you have to kill then.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably switch into creative at some point.
Yeah.
And just start going a bit.
Go
wild,
crazy.
but
Yeah, whatever you want.
The stuff that you can do with those is quite insane.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys do with the boom block. Wild Quickie 07 says, this is a totally out there question, but have you thought about a craftable/obtainable device or block that once placed can pacify a surrounding radius to make it a safe area of sorts?
Pretty much.
Yes,
yeah,
Dave did. That's are you in our design document? Yeah, we have something. I don't want to talk about it, but yes.
Great minds think alike. Nixie Nova asks, do the boom blocks chain multiple explosions?
Oh, we're going to see it in action. We're going to go into creative mode shortly, and we will answer that question dynamically.
Impact Chicken again asks, it would be cool if you had specific attachments to your sculpting tool so you could implement PvP that way. It's more of a suggestion than a question. If you have suggestions, feel free to drop them
Yeah.
into Discord. We have a Reforj suggestions channel where you can make a title and then just write as much as you like, and then we can, people like these two can have a look
Yeah.
through and think, that's a good idea.
I'll go find a different cave. I feel like I've seen this one.
Yeah.
Pat asks, when we get built-in minigames, is there a chance we could create maps for them and host games on our own custom maps with all the in-game, all the minigame mechanics?
I think that's probably within the realm of possibility, but that's so early for us to even think about how that would
Yeah.
work.
We still need to make the tools
Yeah.
to allow us to make our own mini
Yes.
games. As Brian was saying earlier, the best we've got right now is kind of almost like simulating our own games within, and like we can kind of creating our own rule sets. But sometimes that's how those kind of prototypes end up making it in, is into games, or we'll wait and see. We gotta make the main game first before we make the mini games.
Yeah.
Or at least the map of the main game.
Fusey asks, is there an option to disable the minimap on screen yet?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is. And I can also lock the mini map to north as well.
Yeah.
Super cool. Nixie Nova asks, have you tested tested yet doing what us Minecrafters do and blow up a 100 meter cube of TNT?
I think we've probably done more.
Yeah, I've actually not like going crazy with it yet, but I know that I've seen what QA have been using with it, and I think one of our designers, the first thing he did when he got his hands on it was just set as much as he could from. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love like a social post or a trailer where it's like classical music, like da na 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 da da, and you see a mountain like explode.
Shall we switch to creative mode now?
Sure.
I think we should.
So I'll switch to creative mode, and now my save is no longer the survival prestige that I.
Yeah.
It's now a creative save. But
Wow. Jessica asks, how many boom blocks until the console becomes a boom block?
I'm hoping you guys will tell me.
Yeah, we were very well aware. It's like, oh yeah, we're not designing a thing that makes a single explosion. We're designing something that makes a lot of explosions.
Joe says, sounds like that old Sony TV ad, Nathan, with the paint exploding. Yes. Oh, it's already been done. Maybe we'll recreate it. Flidgy asks, what are the debug menu setting? That's a developer-only thing, unfortunately.
Yep. Sharp eyes, though. Well spotted.
Yeah, that's that menu for like a setting.
That's a pretty big explosion.
That's nothing.
I'll turn the face cam off for this one. This is important.
Oh,
Nice.
satisfying.
Oh, look,
I was gonna
we
say-
found a new cave.
I was going to say the sound is super satisfying.
I made this myself. Oh, I'm standing back on creative mode.
Yep.
Love it.
There's a- We're just gonna
I
hit
think
the
you
blown
need.
up stuff now.
Yeah, I
right?
think you need one of those fancy new lights we made to see what you're doing down there.
Oh yeah.
Ah, that's a new thing.
Yeah, new decorative lantern.
We are currently looking at what decoration or furnishing items to add next to the game, and honestly, we've got some ideas of our own, but we're still very open to hearing other ideas because we don't know what to add yet as furnishing. So, give us a shout either in the chat or in the Discord.
Fuser says, that is nice. Nice being in full caps there. Gotham asks, can you make it so that some of the exploded elements are preserved in survival?
Yes, that is a debate that we're having right now. Like how lethal is it? Does it get like it? The question is like, do we use this as a means of like clearing terrain, or do we use it as a means of like extreme strip mining? We're playing around with what that would mean if we let you keep the resources. The version that's going to go out in this August update just destroys everything. So don't set it off by anything that you want to retain.
I mean, I feel like that's the good question is folks who are playing the game, do you think it should drop items if you're in survival? I know that we are certainly going to try it out and experiment with ourselves. The only reason we didn't do it is because we want to make sure when we did drop all the collectibles, we were doing it right, as in we do have an upper limit of how many collectibles can exist in the world. We want to make sure that if we're dropping like 10 of the same thing, stack it up so that it's not eating into our collectible count.
Nixie Nova wants to see all of the inventory tabs.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just for the wiki, isn't it?
Probably. Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Don't blink.
I think you use it.
Cool. Joe suggested maybe try doing a really long chain in the air. That always looks cool. It's quite useful that you can just kind of fly around and place them wherever you want.
I've never tried this before. This may.
So cool.
Oh, that's kind of
Yeah.
mesmerizing. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do more of that.
My favorite thing to do with it is I'll find like the tallest mountain that I can, and then I'll just bore a tunnel straight through down to bedrock, and then I'll fill that hole up with explosive and light the fuse and sit back and watch. It's a good show.
Our very own Liam says, one of my favourite things about these explosions is they don't just destroy blocks, but cause blocks to be half destroyed into different shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They are sculpting tools in a really weird sense.
Yeah.
They do sculpt some of the blocks back into slopes and.
I also think it's really impressive how like the game is handling it with ease. Like I'm not seeing any reduction in frame rate or anything. It
No.
just handles it.
I've literally like blown the tops off entire mountains and not a dip in frame rate.
So cool.
Straight to the top of the mountain.
Yep.
I knew this stream would evolve to this.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
I imagine most people's gameplay is going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, it is fun to build as well.
It kind of feels like a domino effect. I wonder if you could do something cool with setting them off in certain orders.
They do, yeah, like they trigger like linearly based on adjacency.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bet I've never tried that, but I bet you could.
Like if I was to set off here, it would kind of fork in both directions, but they would both be traveling the same
Speed. Yeah.
same speed. So if you made this a longer path, it would take longer to get to the other side.
Could be a cool idea for like a build competition. Make something domino-like. I love the sound it makes.
It's very satisfying.
It's like hearing a machine go to work. Vonix Laser says you could draw with explosions.
Yeah. I mean, I use it as a sculpting tool. I was trying to make like a castle ruin, and the easiest way to do it was just build a really nice castle and then just strategically place these like in corners of the building, and then just set them off and watch. And it did a nice job of turning it into like a believable ruin, versus me sitting there trying to hand sculpt it.
Yeah, I can already see how it that could look like a chunk taken out of the side of a mountain.
Now we've got the ability to create your own wingsuit tracks.
That
Yeah.
could be so good for glide maps. Love that. I'm like taking mental notes for the next Discord build competition because
Yeah.
I think people are going to have a lot of fun with this. Super cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll build a bridge that goes through the mountain.
To that cave there.
Nisinova asks, can you kill a Regal with the TNT? You almost did.
I'm not sure that Regals are aware of explosions.
They're just doing their own thing.
They just do their thing, yeah. I don't think they would be affected. We based the Regal on our local Dundee Seagulls, so I think they're unkillable.
How much of the Reforge team has played Little Big Planet games? I feel like those were the most creativity-focused games I've ever played.
I've only played like little bits of a friend's house, but I recently did play Tearaway, which I think is made by the same folks, and yeah, they make some good games.
Yeah.
To clarify for you, by glide maps I meant like maps that people have made to play around with the glide tool. Like I have on my machine a map where I've just made some really basic, terrible like rings to fly through. It reminds me of like Pilot Wings Resort on 3DS. Anyone's played that one?
Yeah.
The launch title, so
We
not
had
many
a
people
play
picked on that.
test the other month where we were building like wingsuit tracks.
I still play my wingsuit track.
Yeah.
I made a pretty fun one.
I think what made it easy for me is we had the tools, which at that point was just a test for the explosion tool. Now that we actually have it in game, I think maybe we could do a build 4G versus community on that one again for wingsuit tracks.
So Mavic says, hey guys, joining a bit late to the stream. If there's a way to make awesome options like these, will there be a way to magically rebuild the destroyed thing?
In our editor.
Yeah, we've got the ability to restore worlds.
We've got the magic undo button. Like I said earlier in the stream, I think a lot of the tools that the development team has a lot of fun using in the editor, we would love to make, not all of them, but like a subset of them available as an actual craftable tool or a bracer mode or something, but it's a lot of those tools are designed for mouse and keyboard, so they're kind of like the whole UI around them is more like a game editor as opposed to something you do with the controller. So the first trick with those is like, okay, how do I redesign the UI so that it's friendly for a controller? Because we always want this game to be controller first. Once we solve that problem of like, okay, how do I translate that to a controller? Then it's a matter of like, okay, well, does it break the game in some way or does it make the game less fun? Because it's like if you had a set of Lego and all the Lego brick just like assembled themselves to make the thing, that's not as fun as sitting there building it piece by piece. And a lot of those tools make creative building super, super easy and super fast. And they're really enjoyable to use, but it's a completely different experience from like really building something from scratch. So it's just, again, of like philosophically how powerful is like too powerful of a tool before we'd actually put it in the hands of a typical player. But yeah, like the restore tool that we're talking about, where you can just kind of point the cursor and say, okay, heal this part of the world, make it what it was when it was first generated. Totally possible in the engine. We just have to think about, like, is that a creative mode only, or is it creative mode plus, or?
The nice thing about the boom blocks is they have a consequence to them. If you take away the consequence, where's the fun? Says the guy who's tunneling through a mountain like it's absolutely nothing.
I do want to say, like, this looks amazing so far. The kind of like, I don't know, like round kind of walls that it's generating, and the lighting from the lanterns. I feel like it's a really nice combo.
Nice.
So cool.
Now just give me some rails and I could build a nice little train set through there.
Yeah. Chat agrees. Vronix Laser says that looks cool. The Caleb fan page says, man, those lanterns are great. Tom Mevic says, thanks for the response, guys. Very appreciated. No problem. Gotham says, looks like a large earthworm came through. Okay, we'll give it about 10-15 minutes. So is there anything else we want to show off before we wrap up?
He's just blown a hole through a mountain. What do you want?
It's more what do
That
the
looks really
people
nice.
want. I'm the
Yeah.
man of the people.
Yeah.
I'm sure the wiki editor is going to be very busy over the weekend.
Oh God, yeah.
Note to the wiki: these are not new icons. These are these materials are just kind of, well, they're rendered from in game. So whenever the lighting changes, which I know they've just tweaked the lighting ever so slightly, doesn't mean they're new icons.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the attention to detail.
Oh,
so
those
far.
guys are diligent.
Good question from 4J Liam. Hoping to see boom blocks used for a bank heist build, soon to blow through the vault door.
That's a good idea.
That's a very good idea. Natalie asks, can torches finally be placed on walls?
I've always been able to put a torch on a wall,
You
right?
can place them
Yeah.
on a wall, but they don't attach to the
touch,
wall.
yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Fuzi asks, does the game have a Reddit? Yes, r/Reforj is our official subreddit. Go have a look. All of our main social posts get mirrored to it, but we also keep an eye out to see what the community's up to and posting on there. Screenshots are welcome, discussions, all sorts are all very welcome there. Final questions, chat. If you want to get some final questions in, now's the time. It's probably going to be a while before we get around to doing another one of these, just because we're very busy people.
Nice use of the cylinder tool there.
Yeah, I love the cylinder tool for the plants there. They're kind of like plant pots. I love that. It's all very homely.
Yeah, they make really nice log cabins too.
It's making some kind of looks like temple kind of pillared buildings earlier.
Vonix Laser asks, are there swords? I asked earlier, but I'm curious.
No, not yet. Maybe at some point, but there's. Yeah, I can't say more.
We want dedicated weapons for the game.
Yeah.
We've got one in mind that we're going to be working on next, which is quite exciting.
Yeah.
But we're going to tell you nothing.
No.
Good question from Hacker1MC. Who on the team plays Reforged the most? Do you guys share your worlds?
I mean, I spend half of my day easily with it running because, I think me and the QA team and the design team in general, we're always asked to review stuff that's gone in. So you would want to review it as a player would, as opposed to just cheating our way to it. So I spend hours every day playing it and replaying it and replaying it. QA probably plays with the most, though, I think.
Yeah.
I was thinking Scott and Sishan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're probably at the top as well.
Yeah, but they're kind of playing it the most in creative mode.
Yeah. I reckon, again, Neil has us beat.
Yeah.
At least in survival plays, or the amount of times he's done the progression.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't the end of our progression. This is, or the end of the amount of items we're adding, where there are tons more to go.
Yeah.
At least just from our what's in our heads, and then there'll be probably more on top of that.
Yeah, or even what you just have kind of mapped out in our design documents. It's the tech tree is quite deep.
Joe's asked, who's best at it in the office?
Well, I guess define best. Scott and Sishan are definitely some of the best builders, but they're not the only really good builders. I think everybody in the office is probably pretty good at building stuff, but from a creative standpoint, they're some of the best at doing the big epic builds and stuff. I don't know, for survival play. I've never compared my fastest speed run to top bracer tier with everyone else. I don't know.
Yeah, when I tend to play the game, I don't tend to play it fast. unless I'm trying to get to a specific thing. But
Yeah.
I'm going to try something you made earlier, Brian.
Oh, the the tunnel.
Yeah, it's a belt tunnel through a mountain, but I like to tunnel down the way.
The house is right there. Careful.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Gotham asks, can you also sculpt the cylinder into a corner so that it meets the horizontal and vertical ones?
Not yet. But I don't think that's out of the realms of possibility. I think we just, for the first version of the cylinder, we just kind of kept it quite simple.
Yeah. Yeah, we could have easily done like the like kind of like the way our corners automatically join. We could have done some kind of like auto corner join thing. Yeah, I mean the shape exists. It's one of the 600 plus
If
shapes.
it's something,
So
once you get your hands on it, if it's something that you feel quite strongly about, just do give us a shout.
yeah, I mean the suggestions and discussions that you guys have on Discord honestly do influence. Kind of our. I think the thing that influences the most is priority.
Yeah.
So if there's something you want faster or sooner, make noise about it on Discord.
Hacker1MC says, thanks for the response. I'm glad to hear all you all play. Damn it. I'm glad to hear you all test the game by actually playing it rather than testing features in limited cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a big playtest every Friday morning. Good chat from Liam. Liam says, reminder on this topic of listening on Discord, the static was developed from a community design.
Yes. Yeah, we had already had plans to put in stalactites and stalagmites into the world as part of the cave generation, and then when it was pitched as making it a mob, we kind of went, oh yeah, actually that could work. So we listen.
Okay, 2 more questions. From Pout, how will the UI change if you decide to add more sculpting shape options?
As you may have noticed, we've filled up our first wheel.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're now going to have to, because we have tons of ideas for more sculpting tools.
Mhm.
Current line of thinking is that there will be multiple radio wheels that you can sort of toggle through.
Mhm.
Current thinking being on the buttons, and once you've got that open, there might be other ways. We're obviously going to have to keep on refining things as we go. If we add like 50 tools, unlikely,
Mhm.
but we probably have to develop a system that is a bit easier to find the tool you want. But for now, we've got 9,
Yeah.
if I've counted that right. Oh.
8.
Yeah.
Well, the default square.
True, true.
That's one.
Okay, and final question. It's one I want to ask you guys. What do you think people will enjoy the most out of all the things that we've shown today?
That.
I think that was going to be the guaranteed answer, right?
Yeah, that's
And
what I have the most fun with right now. But
Excluding the boom blocks, let's say.
yeah, I think just I think people that enjoy survival games will enjoy having some actual survival mechanics. Like what you guys have had before was really just like a super early taste. That was what you saw before was us just trying to make sure that the systems were in place to support survival gameplay. Now there's actually, like you can't just kind of do whatever you want. You really have to put some thought, like before you go underground or when the sun goes down and the tunnelers come out, you will actually need to be aware of like, okay, do I have, too much aura on me? Am I just a great big juicy target? Do I want to offload some of this right now? I think people will enjoy experiencing just, the start of our survival mechanics now.
Final comment from chat. The Caleb fan page says, that house looks great, blow it up though. I feel like we have to. Even though we're finally we're still putting the final touches on
I'll
it.
do it. Give me like a minute before you plan to turn the stream off, and I'll blow it up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll turn the face cam off for this. We need full view. Oh, we're getting every single space. Oh god.
Just fill it.
You know, I love this house. It's fine. It's immortalized in the stream forever. That space station I built last time is still trapped on on the saves.
Yeah.
I wanna grab pictures of it at some point.
So many memories in this house. Such a shame. Let's make sure you leave yourself a hole.
If there's ever a time when the game was gonna not agree with me, it's probably this.
Yeah. No, I think you'll find. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just-
Beth says it's too pretty to go out like that.
I think you can do like maybe a fuse to lead to it.
Yeah. It is quite satisfying how well it's filled up. But
idea. So I'm gonna bring the fuse. See what I'm doing?
Yeah. Burying it. That should work.
nice. I like how you've hidden it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alright, chat, are we ready?
Get me down.
3, 2, 1, go. and it's just
It's
gone.
completely gone.
Wow.
Just a smoking crater.
Well, there you have it, chat. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your questions. Hope you've liked what you've seen. We hope to bring Title Update 4 to you very, very soon, so keep an eye out, all you pioneers in chat. And if you aren't a pioneer yet, head to reforj.com and fill out the form for a chance to become a pioneer. Obviously, we're only testing on Xbox Series X and S for now, but we hope to bring it to more platforms in due time. If you have any more questions for our developers, designers, artists, etc., head to the Discord. The link is pinned to both Twitch and YouTube chats. Discord.gg/Reforj. You can go in there and ask us questions, and if you're lucky, you'll get a reply from one of us. But that is it. Thank you so much for coming through. We'll upload the stream to YouTube as well later on. The VOD, as it is now, is already available, but we'll cut it down, take out the break in the middle, and you'll have a whole hour and something of Reforj to sit through all weekend long. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate your viewership and taking part, and we'll see you guys later on. Bye.
Cheers for coming.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.